What is up, Savages? Thanks everybody for tuning in. I hope everyone is doing well. Tonight we're going to talk about AION and the Open Application Network. I've alluded to some problems that I had, a little bit of problems I was having with AION in a few of the videos that I've done on them in the past. I just didn't really realize what I was trying. I wasn't getting across what I was really having a problem with. It was in this video here that I talked about this a little bit, and I made a comment about how developer-centric and developer-focused it had become over time, and how if you were just someone interested in learning more about AION as an investment or in even wanting to mine AION, you'd have a tough time finding that information. And it's still a little bit like that, but along those same lines, for quite a while now, I've been thinking about, a little bit of introspection, I guess, but been thinking about something I see as a significant problem in our little crypto space here. And many people realize this, it's not just me, but that is, it needs more users, not more developers. And that was basically the gist of the problem I was having with projects like AION, because they are developer centric. Or they either need more users, or at least the products that the developers create need more users, right? You aren't going to be able to convince me that there are enough users for over 8,000 crypto projects to all be successful. It's not going to work like that, I don't think. It's like manufacturing vehicles. You could have thousands of car lots selling your vehicles all over the world, but if no one was buying your cars and driving them on the streets, you're not going to be successful. So I'm glad, really glad, that AION realized that this was a problem with the lack of users and trying to solve the same problems as many other projects, and are now making an effort to actually remedy the situation. So let's get more into it. If you like content like this and haven't subscribed to my channel, what you waiting for? I do live streams almost every weeknight, so get on that. That's all that you need to do, is just click that little subscribe button and notification bell. I think they've changed it a little bit to where you have to choose what kind of notifications you want, so be sure to do that. Also follow me on Twitter. Over here, sometimes I'll do polls and things like that to determine what the content will be about that night. So sometimes it's interactive and you can actually kind of help determine what the content will be about that night. I just saw that. I easily get distracted. You guys know me. I get easily distracted. But I just saw that I'm following this Ravencoin asset bot. So basically it pops up here anytime that an asset gets created. And someone just created an asset called OK Boomer. That's awesome. All right. Let me get back to what I was talking about here. So I also have Discord. I'm not very active over there in my particular server, but you can contact me over there as well. So let's take a look at and those links are down in the description of the video, I believe. They're also, I think, in my header up here. So if you want to go over here, you can see them. Subscribe, Twitter, and Discord, all right there. All right, let's take a look at what I am currently mining. I am still mining AION on the Kessel rig, this guy right here, and doing pretty well there. No big deal. It's just a little 6 GPU rig, hashing away on some AION. We covered that last night. We covered mining, how to mine AION, so that was cool. Again, I think it's about the third time I've covered it. But it's nice to get an updated video in there. Sometimes it's better for the channel if there's more recent videos regarding, how to mine something. So that's cool. Did that last night. And then over here on Simple Mining, these are the co-owned rigs, the shared rigs. I don't own these rigs outright. We've been mining CCX, Conceal.network, over there for quite a while now, since March. Still plugging away at that, and yeah, doing pretty well over there, so not a big deal. That is what I am mining, just AION and CCX. This other rig is still off. here in the office. I was cleaning and I was working on my office here, so I just haven't plugged it back in basically. Because this one, I don't have enough power in this particular room. It'll blow the circuit breaker, so I have to string a high quality extension cable to another outlet, and it just runs through the hallway and stuff, and it's an eyesore. So anyway, kind of stopping me from doing that. Let's take a quick look at the market, see what's going on over here. I think I just closed that. I did. I'll just use this, I guess. I was going to use CoinMarketCap, but I'll just use this. Actually, let's see. Yeah, I did leave it open. Okay, never mind. All right, so what's going on in the market? Bitcoin's down just a little bit. This is kind of boring, except for this one. I don't know what's going on with this website, but used to you put your mouse over it and it would actually show you more info. Now you have to click it. But yeah, kind of a lot of sideways movement here on Ethereum and BTC, so not much going on there, not any real news there. Do a little refresh here. And we're looking at, and this is something I noticed. I don't know if y'all can see this. You can't see it. Actually you can't. Let me pull this down a little bit here so you can maybe see that. That's not what I want. Look right here. The number of projects on here is now 4,781, and just yesterday it was 3,080, I believe. 3,088 or something like that. So they added 1,700 in one day. So I don't know what their maybe they changed their requirements, thresholds, or whatever it is, but yeah, this number just jumped up like crazy, so I don't know what's going on with that. Okay, so that's a quick market. Let's go through and look at a few of the top. We'll go through just the top 5. So let's look at CCX. Down pretty good today. Not a great day for CCX. Let's look at AION. Sitting about even, right under 9 cents. And then Raven. Pretty even, like the rest of the market. Loki's up just a tad. And then Zell. Down a little bit. Alright, so those are basically my top 5, I guess you could say. And last night, like I was saying, last night we covered how to mine AION. That was in this video here. I think it's paused, yep. So we went over that. We kind of did it fairly quick. It wasn't too bad. We used the spreadsheet like we used to and successfully mined it using AIONpool.tech and NVIDIA rig and HiveOS. So that's what this video is about. So check that out if you're interested in that. One thing that I did not do that I need to do, or that I should have done, is went back to the pool, AIONpool.tech, and looked at my miner stats. I always forget to do this at the end of after we successfully mine a coin, and get an accepted share. Then your data should be showing up on the pool. So I should have came in here. I didn't at the end of last night's video, but I figured I would clean that up today. So this is my mining address, or the wallet address that I'm mining to. So if I go load my wallet data, it'll show up in here how many pending shares, all my data, the name of the rig, the hash rate, what it's doing right now, how much I've been paid on that address, so on and so forth. So this will just give you a good feeling that things are going well with your mining operation whenever you come in here like that and check that out. Just real quick, I want to go through AIONpool.tech as far as their website here. So we did cover this a little bit last night. We went through Connect here, and this is kind of like what we would use for mining help. So it's got a lot of information in here, how to set up your miner and whatnot. So keep that in mind. It also has pool stats. They've been bouncing around between 219 and 222 miners today. Anyway, just poking around here every now and then. And they, what I noticed was this was cool because they just went over 1 million AION. It didn't seem like it was that long ago, and now they're almost up to 2 million AION that they've paid to miners. So that is super cool as well. I also have miners here. Yeah, this is just a list of them, basically. Top 500, it looks like. Then they got blocks, almost like a block explorer or a trimmed down one. Payments that have gone out. And then some people were asking about AION Wallet. So if you go to AION Wallet over here, you know, we talked about Coinomi a little bit last night, and then I think Yashnik was saying some stuff about some other wallets like Mackie, I guess that's how you say that, Trust Wallet. So this is where you would go, AION Wallet over here, and this is where you can get to wallet information. Desktop wallet off of the AION website, all that stuff. So keep that in mind. They also have an alerts and updates here, just keeping you keeping you informed of what's going on with the pool and anything related to AION. And then they also have analytics. I think they pull this from TradingView now, so that's kind of cool. And this looks kind of bullish to me. If you were to ask me, I'm not a trader or anything, but this looks kind of bullish. Anyway, all right, not financial advice or nothing like that. All right, so that was a real quick rundown on that. They also have a link here to AION Explorer if you're interested in really diving into the AION network and what's going on, you know, block times and hash rates and difficulties and all that. They have different Explorer or different options here. They have different analytics that you can pull up, hash power, block times, active addresses, and I did want to point out that the network difficulty is pretty low, it seems like, or you know, it's kind of creeping back up now, but compared to, you know, recent, it's pretty low, so that's a good thing for miners. So just want to point that out. Cool stuff hanging off of aionpool.tech. So now let's get into the main topic here. Let's head over to AION's website. I'm going to close, actually I'll leave that open. Let me go to the dashboard here. I'm not really interacting with the chat. Hopefully there's people in here, and maybe Yashnik's in here. Yeah, what's up, Yashnik? What's up, Big Crypto Dave? Crypto Z, what is going on? Thanks for tuning in. So Yashnik hopefully can answer any questions and whatnot over there. That him and Crypto Z are in there. So if you got questions about aionpool.tech or AION in general, they can probably answer those as we go through this. So it looks like they're using an HTTP 301 permanent redirect on the it used to be AION.network. If you try to go to AION.network, it now points you to, which you can't really see it, but it is the OAN.com. So if you type in AION.network and press enter, you're just going to be redirected permanently to the OAN.com. So that's kind of neat. If you follow AION at all, you've no doubt heard news of the transition into Open Application Network, the OAN, with the goal of helping with the consequences of platform economies. And we're going to get into what that actually means here in a few minutes. Now, I don't necessarily like, this is one of the things that originally kind of I was not so happy about with AION project, because I don't necessarily like seeing logo changes and things like that just for the sake of the change itself and expecting the value of the underlying asset to increase or project sentiment to change based on that alone. It's similar to when a bad sports team thinks a uniform change is going to change the team's skills, right? I get the psychological aspect of it, but it's oftentimes effort and energy that should be directed to value producing aspects of the project. And sometimes projects lose their way. But luckily, this does not appear to be the case with AION and the Open Application Network. After doing my little research and diving into it a little bit further, I get it. OAN is basically just a new name for the AION network, but it's much more than that. It's another building block for the project. The OAN is everything AION Network Layer 1 or AION 1 was. It's the AION virtual machine, Unity, and everything AION has been working on since the beginning, with the main focus being interoperability. The OAN is the overall public infrastructure AION uses for its platform. What they are now building on top of that network is going to be considered layer 2 and includes what's called open kits that contain APIs, templates, and other tools developers can use to allow integration of existing marketplaces and platforms to provide a valuable service to customers. And it looks like most of the capabilities are available already, but more will be available by year's end. You can view these open kits as the on-ramps for developers. That's the way I look at them. Open kits are used by developers to build open apps to integrate with existing online platforms such as Uber, YouTube, and Shopify. It looks like the only open kit available right now, though, is Open Economy. Open Economy is an open kit for quickly integrating programmable currencies. This is straight off the website here. Points and other assets on your website or mobile app. Some proposed kits are Open Governance, where devs can create a simple voting mechanism for any stakeholder to make any decisions, whether it's coordinating a digital union or picking the theme for your next holiday party. Again, that's just right off the website there. Another proposed open kit is Open Funding, which is used for crowdsource funding for common needs across your ecosystem. So they say, imagine pooling funds for a gig economy like Uber, workers, health insurance, or supporting a young entrepreneur. So that's what those are about. The last, but definitely not the least proposed kit, to me anyway, is Open. Let me speed this up a little bit here. Is Open Identity. I'm big on the privacy thing. This happens to be my favorite one of all. You can add a digital reputation to your app that can be leveraged by other apps. Why should your reputation from ride sharing not be used for ordering food or booking a weekend getaway? And to help explain this a little bit more, you can see here that they also have custom kits. So it looks like they're going to allow you to, I think if you click on any one of these ones that's not proposed yet, or maybe it was this one, I want to say it fires up an email. It wants to email them to let them know what you're interested in, I guess. I don't know exactly how that works, but I didn't get too deep into it. But it looks like, if you want to do your own type of kit, then you would go here and start building. So that is all super cool stuff. To help explain a little more, let's see here. I got this over here. As far as like the identity aspect of it, one of the most important struggles of our time when it comes to using all this technology in social and economic circles available to us is our data and its privacy. We've talked quite a bit about this on the channel, and I tweet about it from time to time, like this tweet here. And it looks like there's some effort in the OAN, the Open Application Network, to help with this. So that is, in my opinion, that's pretty exciting. I dig that a lot. I'm not one of those folks that think that blockchains can fix everything. Maybe I did when I first got into it because I saw, how awesome everything was, right? And basically any business thing that you could think of, you could apply a blockchain to it, right? Initially, whenever you first got into this, at least that's the way I was. But if there's one thing it can help, that I really feel strongly that it can help, is to fix its privacy and the ability for you to manage your own data. I think that it can help to fix privacy, and the ability to manage your own data. Who can see that data and what they can do with that data. With the Open Application Network, you can decide what your data is used for, and you may even be able to sell it as you see fit. It kind of sounds crazy, but would you rather sell your data to companies and businesses and platforms that would like to buy that data from you, or would you rather it be sold by a company that you're giving it to for free, right? That's kind of the way that you kind of have to look at it. So what exactly does this all mean? let's think about a fairly simple example. Imagine, and this is a common example that even Matt Spoke from AION uses. Kinda, he talks about Uber a lot. But imagine you're an Uber driver. It's just easy to apply, because it's something that we're familiar with. So it's easy to apply the technology and the goals of the project to an Uber driver situation. So imagine you're an Uber driver. All your driving, route data, frequency of use, locations of pickups and destinations, high demand periods, traffic signal cycles, payment methods used, travel times, mileage, gas station locations, speeds, all that stuff is all tracked. All this data is stored with Uber inside the app and on their servers. And you can't even really get to it unless you're using their app. You can't use that data for anything outside of Uber. So if you aren't using Uber, it's basically useless data. On top of all that, Uber can take that data, like I said earlier, use it in any way that they wish without your permission, and even sell it to third parties. So here's where the OAN comes in and allows that data to be stored outside of the app on a blockchain, the AION network, or the OAN, and then used by Uber or anyone else that you allow, that you authorize. You control the data. That data belongs to you because it was created by you, right? Even though you were using Uber's app, the data, your GPS signal, all that stuff, that data is your data. If you go to work for another transportation company, you can leverage all that data by allowing the new company's app to interface with your blockchain data. Or since you own the data anyway, you could just sell it to other services looking for that type of data and continue to work for Uber, right? Maybe a scooter rental business could use it, or a pizza delivery business, or whatever. The OAN is adding to platform capabilities instead of trying to compete with them directly. So just keep that in mind. That is what I gather from this actual project. So you can see how this is all completely new type of economy and very forward-looking by the OAN Foundation, the Open Application Network Foundation. So the OAN can be described, let me get this up over here. I missed a link here somewhere. The OAN can be described as an open source public blockchain project focused on solving the unintended consequences of platform economies. That's kind of from their website, how they describe it. So let's look at some examples of open apps. Now these are the open kits are used to build open apps. And these are examples of open apps that are currently in development or in use. You got Velocia, which is one that Matt from AION references a lot because he said that they're the furthest along. So you can use them as a pretty good example of what's going on. They use the Open Economy Kit to create their platform here. And on their website, it's not real clear what they do, but if you dig a little bit further, you can kind of see what's going on. It's basically a reward system for using mass transit or low carbon output devices like bicycles and things like that. Basically, you get rewarded for ride sharing and things like that. It says right here, get rewarded for your daily commute and redeem across some of your favorite mobility services. So they created a Velos, a token, a digital asset that you earn by using these what am I trying to say here? By using these services, right? So these transit services that are not a single person vehicle that you're riding. You're driving a huge car or an SUV to work, so you don't get, you don't earn Velos for doing that. You earn it by using the services that subscribe to Velocia, right? So that's kind of neat. That is an app actual in progress right now. I think it's only in down in Miami, I think. Yeah, get around Miami-Dade transit. And I'm sure that it's something that's going to, you know, go from city to city, probably a little bit like Uber and things like that. So I would see some pretty good growth from them in the not too distant future, in my opinion. But they also have a Medium post here that describes it a little bit more in depth, you know, about what's going on with Velocia. Pretty neat. From this right here, it says Velocia has been operating in beta program in the city of Miami for the past 2 months. It has onboarded over 2,000 users. I think this is from this actual post here. That have been earning millions of Velo across their mobility partner ecosystem that includes Getaround, SwiftSeat, City Bike, Bolt Scooter, and Miami-Dade Transport. Their use base has walked 57,836 miles in the past 8 weeks. That is a bit more than 2 times around the Earth, whether traveling the equator or over the poles, taking the equivalent of 1,775 cars off the road, resulting in 23,000 kg of carbon emissions reduction. So I think that is from here somewhere, but pretty cool. I mean, you know, I dig it. That's cool stuff. I like it. So I can probably put all these links to all these articles and stuff in the description once the video stream is over. The next one that we're going to look at, an example, is called Bullet ID. Now at first, because I'm an avid 2A supporter here, this one kind of like, you know, I was like, I don't really want my ammo to be scanned like this and tracked, but this is not, that's not what it is. This is about supply chains and monitoring and things like that. This is really cool in my opinion, because it's got like this little barcode on each bullet. I don't know if it's actually on each bullet, but that's what they show here. And basically it's supply chain management, right? So it's really neat. I dig it. This is cool to me. Neat stuff. Another one is Vivo Pago. I think that he mentioned this. Matt mentioned this in the interview with Blockchain Brad. Their website doesn't look like it's very functional. It says that we're coming soon. Okay, great. But basically, it's a company that's helping the unbanked get access to content delivery. They also use the Open Economy Kit. And we know that kind of because it's basically the only one that's available right now, right? The other ones are going to be available probably towards the end of the year, I guess, from what I'm gathering. Don't know for sure. And Vivo Pago is a revolutionary platform that integrates the Open Economy Kit, like I said, with a seamless payment gateway. I think this is right here, yeah. Or media and telecommunication services. In an extremely bold initiative, Vivo Pago will introduce the Pago token. Again, you know, whenever you're using the Open Economy Kit, typically you're going to have a token associated with it, because that's what you're saying. You're going to use this kit to develop an open app that's going to have its own token that you're going to use for rewarding your customers, right? Affording Latin Americans, banked and unbanked alike, through a network of launch parties with access to voice data and premium television content. So this is cool stuff as well. Matt talked about this on that interview with Blockchain Brad. So check that interview out. It was really cool. Lots of good information in there. And then if we go back to over here, a couple back, not there, right here. I think they're right here. You can blast through these. There's a couple in here that don't have any links to any information, and I guess you could probably Google this and find out a little bit more, but it just looks like these like BFit here and Get Rewards, they're just not far enough along to even really have any data, about the project. Like this one, see how it's got Learn More, so you can learn more about Vivo Pago and Bullet ID and Velocia, but not the other ones. So you could probably Google them and figure out a little bit more information there. So you're probably asking yourself, hey Savage, how does this system use the AION token that we're all familiar with in the mining world. What does all this have to do with the actual cryptocurrency we call AION as miners, right? And that's a really great question, because I was kind of asking the same thing. Well, what it has to do with is the AION token, the cryptocurrency that we're used to, is what's used to gain access to the computing power and security features of the OAN, of the Open Application Network. Even though it is a cryptocurrency that can store and transfer value, it was never intended to be the next global currency like some projects, claim, right? That's one of the things that they always say. They always say, that their plan is to be the next, global currency, and AION has never done that. That's not part of their thing, right? AION itself is a utility token. This will be more evident and noticeable when Unity is implemented in the near future and stakers start, staking. So at this point, the overall AION project has two distinct customers, if you will. The developers that use the token as a utility to allow their users to use apps, and then there's the token owners in the form of miners and stakers. But keep in mind that even though these are considered customers of the OAN itself is a not-for-profit foundation. You can see how if developers create applications that are popular with their users, since it costs AION tokens to use the network in a way through transaction fees and things like that, this should lead to a value increase for the AION token based on simple supply and demand. If you're staking or mining AION, you may receive additional rewards due to the transaction fees incurred by the applications developers create and the users use. So that is separate from, it's kind of separate from OAN, because AION is the actual currency used on the network. To use the network, to use the features of the network. So speaking of staking, let's talk about Unity for a minute. So Unity Consensus, the next big thing for AION is Unity Consensus protocol implementation, and that's on November 19th or 20th, depending on speed of the network and how things pan out when it gets closer. That is the Unity OAN kernel will be upgraded at that time. The OAN kernel will be upgraded by node operators in a coordinated hard fork. So what exactly is Unity? We've covered Unity before in other videos, so check those out. Earlier on, I don't know how long ago, maybe a couple months. But basically, it is a hybrid proof of work, proof of stake consensus algorithm that'll be implemented to help secure the network through that standard proof of work method that we are all familiar with, and also provide economic security through proof of stake using Java smart contracts to manage the entire staking life cycle. A side effect may actually be increased throughput of the network due to the extra computing power on the network. I'm not 100% sure, but I think the proof of stake nodes could be utilized for all sorts of additional features and support on the network. I don't know if they're going to utilize the nodes in the same way as some other projects like Zell use their nodes, or Loki. There's all kinds of different capabilities out there. I don't know if AION is looking to do that. I probably should ask. I haven't. Maybe if CryptoZ and Yashnik are still in here, they can speak to that. And Unity may also present a lower entry barrier for users who want to participate in the AION network, because instead of having to purchase expensive hardware and worry about maintenance and troubleshooting, they'll be able to purchase and stake coins to support the network. Unity is getting very close to launch. So here is a list of, right here is I actually highlighted this. This is what Unity does. It runs the proof of work and proof of stake algorithms concurrently, and it talks about that, interleaving them together. And you can see, if you think about this from a technical standpoint, if you're going from proof of work in a pool environment, right? So you're mining and you're mining proof of work, Equihash 2109 for AION, and you're mining to a pool, and then they're going to change this algorithm, this consensus mechanism here, to include proof of stake, which is totally different, right? So now it's hybrid. You're going to have proof of stake blocks and proof of work blocks, the algorithm anyway. Then you can see how the blockchain now becomes something that is not the same as it was before as far as a pool mining situation is concerned. So you have to have your pools configured in such a way to support this new feature, the hybrid Unity model. So there are some validators and Unity validators that are already designated and set up to hit the ground running, and one of them is AIONpool.tech, which is obviously our favorite pool that we mine to. And here they are right here. So they're listed on this website here for AION, so that is cool. It makes it sound like Yashnik and them can confirm here, but it makes it sound like they're already ready, which, you know, they should be, because it's only about 10 days away, 10 or 11 days away. So that's what Unity validators are going to be up to. They also have a get started for Unity validators on their website. So if you go to the Open Application Network website, I think it's under Docs, and then there's Get Started. That's what I clicked right here. So if you're interested in that part of it, if you need to know how to do that if you're a public pool or another service such as that, then this is where you would go to learn how to support this new Unity algorithm. And then if you're wondering, just kind of sort of off topic a little bit, but just in general, like news type stuff, if you're wondering if there's any applicable news that's bullish out there on technologies such as what we've been talking about this whole live stream, check this out. And thanks to Yashnik for pointing this out. But basically, this is talking about how DHS, the Department of Homeland Security in the United States here, has awarded MavenNet, which is kind of like they're the for-profit arm of that. I don't want to say what the actual legal relationship is, but they do work closely with the OAN, right? So OAN is not-for-profit foundation, MavenNet is for-profit, from what I gather anyway. So they awarded a $182,700 contract to MavenNet for oil and gas industries to adapt its oil and gas industry blockchain security technology to create this blockchain model for oil and gas industry. So I think that's kind of cool. That's just a neat little piece of news here. Blockchain as a service for cross-border oil exchange. So pretty neat. That's cool stuff. Thanks to Yashnik for pointing that out. You also have something that we didn't see a lot of with AION before. Previously, AION wasn't really into any type of marketing that I recall, not very much anyway. And it seems like now there's a lot more, and it's only been a couple of days here, you know, so this is kind of cool. You know, it looks like the OAN is going to actually make an effort in advertising, which is great to see. You know, if there's one thing that a lot of projects miss, it's advertising. So this is in the New York Times. It's a full page ad, not on the front page, but it's full page, and it is the Open Application Network. So I love this because this draws like attention, right? You got Congress and you got Zuckerberg in there, and it's kind of cool little saying here like that. And then you got a little description of what's going on with the Open Application Network down here. So, you know, it kind of like drives a little bit of curiosity. So that's good. That's a good sign. I like that. And this is AIONpool.tech's tweet about basically the same thing. That is super cool stuff. Let me check the chat, see what's going on over there. Okay, so y'all are keeping everybody informed over there. That's good. Good to see that. Now let's talk about, let me get over here to here, just something generic. Let's talk about my thoughts. Okay, so I am, don't hate me. I'm cautiously optimistic about all this, stuff having an actual effect on, on the overall value of AION. I know that we don't really need to talk about the value of AION, but it is important for people that are interested in investing and mining and all that stuff. I mean, it's kind of what we're here for, is to see a value increase. And I'm just cautiously optimistic about all this having an actual effect, since the AION virtual machine and many other partnerships and products and features launched with almost zero effect on AION token value. It's gone down in value ever since. But those were all these different things were just building blocks to what became the OAN. I'm just giving it to you straight and honest. I'm not going to bullshit you and tell you it's all great and we're going to the moon just because I like AION. But having said all that, it's not like any project out there is really kicking ass right now. I mean, it's basically the entire crypto space that's experiencing this market funk. I'm included in it, and I've talked about it on this channel a lot. Just getting down, it's like, I don't know, it's just rough. And I see projects, doing the same thing. They are experiencing a lot of the same experience or feelings, I do think AION and the OAN are on the right track, and after the introspective realizations and changes that they've made afterwards, I think they'll be successful from here on out. That's just my opinion. So what are your thoughts on AION, OAN, and Unity? I would like to keep the conversation going down in the comments below if you're watching this after the fact. I mean, I'm going to hop over there and chat real quick and see what y'all are talking about. But I am probably going to end it pretty soon because this was 42 minutes. That's not bad for me. It's a Debbie Downer. Yeah, for sure. And I hate being like that. I hate being a Debbie Downer. I don't mean to be. It's just it's been a rough year, and everyone knows that. It's actually more than a year, so everyone knows that it's been rough. I mean, it's going to be pretty soon. It's going to literally be 2 solid years. I mean, yeah, Bitcoin's kind of had a little run, lately. They're up pretty good this year, but I mean, what other projects are, and not any that I'm too involved in. So. Yeah. Yeah, and another thing that people don't realize, I've talked about this before, but the crypto space is super small. I mean, the amount of money, it sounds like a lot to us, $1 billion or whatever we have in, many billions of dollars, 76 billion in volume every day and all that stuff. A lot of that's probably wash trading and all that stuff. So it sounds like a lot to us, but compared to any other market, it's not. It's super small, and that's why we get, the problems of manipulation. It's easier to manipulate than other markets. So it's just a problem, and you're right. It's really before. What was I going to say? I was trying to read what Yashnik was saying. Read up before that post. What are you talking about? What are we talking about? Anyway, I forgot what my train of thought derailed there. Let me see if I can figure out what y'all are talking about over here. Yeah, that Vivo Pago, I think it's got 4 million subs. Yep, that's what I remember seeing from Matt, or hearing from Matt. That's neat stuff. I'm not following Yashnik. Sorry, just not. Why market something that's not ready? Okay, I'll have to read back through this. I'm not following what we're talking about here. Yeah, I'm with you, Joseph. I'm definitely, I agree with all that. But it wasn't intended for that. Like BTC wasn't intended to be a store of value. It just became that, and it's just like a lot of all the other projects that let's look at AION. AION's a really good example. They started as interoperability between different blockchains. Okay, great. Now they've shifted. This is the second big shift, third big shift, but what they're doing, which is awesome. And some projects don't do this. Some projects stay on, they have one swim lane that they figured out, or they said that they had whenever they first launched. This is our swim lane, and they will never get out of that, right? No matter what happens in the market, they won't get out of that swim lane. But AION isn't doing that. AION is going, okay, so we got to be like clay. We got to mold ourselves to what is going on in the environment, because this space is so new, and no one knows what we're going to be dealing with 10 years from now. We're not even going to be able to recognize what's going on 10 years from now. And that's cool that AION, we can't even envision it, right? But AION is at least trying to, right? So that the OAN, is at least trying to. So they're looking at the market. I remember even Matt, I believe he was also saying this. I know I keep bringing him up. Such a great guy, but great speaker too. He was talking about. I'm going to lose my train of thought again. I'm tired. I'm sorry. What was I saying? He was talking about. Oh, all the interviews. That's right. So as they were developing the OAN, they were interviewing all these different businesses and platforms and figuring out what's going on in the space, to figure out what was needed, And I think that this is such a cool, the OAN and the open apps and all that. It's definitely cool, but cool doesn't really doesn't create users or draw in users that much. They really need to, the devs need to get on board, and that's what the open kits are for, is the onboarding of the devs. And we need to start building some really cool stuff. And if we get to a point to where people understand, there's so much that has to go right for all this to really be adopted. But like I was talking about earlier with the identity, I think that part of it is huge. Once people realize that you can control, you can take back, your data, your privacy, and still use these platforms that you want to use, right? Instead of giving your data and your information to the company and then having them get hacked or sell it or whatever they do for advertising and all that bullshit that they do. Instead of that, now you're going to own your data. And I think that part of it, if people cared about that, if users cared about that, then I think that would be a huge, adoption metric, is like, okay, or an explanation of why they would want to use that. I think that's huge. But I'm big on like the whole identity thing. So I kind of favor that part of it and the privacy thing. Yep, I agree, Joseph. I hear you. Yeah, I don't see BTC, I don't see Bitcoin ever being anything more than what it is now as far as store value. It's not going to be digital cash like the white paper said. It's just not. Not with 10-minute block times and all that. Can't do it. You could. There's things that can be built on it. But, I think that it's been said that all of these projects, anything that you're building now, could be built on the Bitcoin network. But my thought is that if it could be done, then why isn't it? There's got to be a reason why a developer or a group of developers would want to take, you know, the blockchain concept and use it in a different way, right? Because whenever Bitcoin was first invented and launched and all that, I mean, it was launched as digital cash. That was the whole thing. And, you know, again, it's just turned into something different. Could you build a lot of the things on it? Maybe, you know, but how efficient is it going to be? I don't know. I think that some projects have to get off of that particular network and have their own. I think that is it leads to more innovation and more capabilities, right? But, you know, 8,000 plus projects, I don't know. There can't be 8,000 different, I don't think that there's 8,000 different solutions or different problems out there that need solutions by 8,000 different projects. But I think hopefully, I would like to see it get down to a few hundred. You know, everybody deserves a chance, don't get me wrong, but 8,000 is just way too much. All right, so we are at 52 minutes. What's up, Red Panda? Yeah, y'all hit that like. And make sure you leave comments and stuff like that on the video. Actually, you don't even have to like it. You can hit the down arrow, that's fine. Or the thumbs down, that's fine. That's an interaction too. So it counts. You guys know I don't really care about all that stuff. But it does help. It gets the video in front of more eyes, I guess. And this one I think was pretty good. You know, you get an honest take from me. You know, I love AION. I do. You know, I have for a long time. Great project. It just, you know, like I said, some stuff kind of worries me whenever there's all this pivoting and stuff. But in the case of AION, you know, they're kind of going with the flow of demand and market, you know, sentiment and all that stuff. So, our market requirements and what users want and what developers want. So it's a good thing. Yeah, don't get me started again. I just went through 40 minutes of it. Yeah, you'll have to rewatch. It should be somewhat entertaining, I think. I don't know. I tried. All right, so we're at 53 minutes. I am going to call it right there. Tomorrow, I will probably be doing the Fireball Friday like we've done the last few weeks here. Crypto Fireball Friday. I don't know what content we'll cover, but I can only assume it'll probably be about AION, most likely. I don't know what it'll be exactly right now, but we'll see. Should be about AION because I like to kind of stick with one project a week. I think that works out better like that. So yeah, maybe we'll just kick back and do something not so structured, you know. I don't know. I'll think of something. I'll see you guys tomorrow. So it'll be the same time tomorrow, 9:30. And I might even do something on Saturday because I'm going to have some time. So maybe. I do have a lot of stuff to do around here, but I might be able to do a stream on Saturday. But not to interfere with Red Pandas because I know he has a premiere at noon, I believe, Eastern Standard Time. So I won't interfere with that. Let me know if, Red Panda, let me know if you're going to do that or not. Stay AION, Savage. I am, man. I'm not going anywhere. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, so maybe something Saturday too. I will see you guys. I'll just talk. I'll just keep talking until midnight if I just keep going. Right on, Red Panda. Hey, show up tomorrow. Let's do that. Let's do like a discussion on stuff like that, how it's going to affect mining and what we think about the whole Unity thing and That'll be, yeah, let's talk more about that since it's got more to do with mining. That'll be cool. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 9:30, same time and channel and all that stuff. Stay savage, everybody.